We're live.
Oh, we're live. Hello. Hi,
Hello,
everyone.
everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, it is
Welcome to
Thursday
another.
again.
Welcome to another pop-up Q&A session. We're here every Thursday from 12:30 to 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and today, because it's CMCO again, everyone is home. So hopefully everyone is staying safe and social distancing. All right, so before we begin, we'd actually like to let everyone know that if you're looking for a job, La Juiceria or Superfoods is actually hiring right now. And they are hiring for these 4 positions: marketing executive, assistant restaurant manager, and also team members for their kitchen and service staff. So if you're interested in looking for a job with La Juiceria or Superfoods, just head over to wobjobs.com/superfoods and apply there. All right. Okay. Without further ado, so if you guys have any questions, please ask us during this. We can actually see your comments. So let us know.
So we're live in a few places, right? We're live on Facebook. We're live on LinkedIn, YouTube. So please, like wherever you are watching, just drop a comment, say hi, let us know you're there. Let us know if you can't hear us. And we will see your comments. And if you have questions, just post it and we'll get to your questions.
All right. Okay. Let's start with question number 1 from last week that we didn't manage to answer. Should I stay or should I leave? All right. I got this job a little over a month ago. At first, we were consistently busy and the training was in-depth. But recently, with rising COVID cases again, the business took another big hit and things have slowed down significantly. I like my team, but I don't really like my job anymore. I work about 40 hours a week, but I'm actually doing work for only about 15 out of those 40 hours. I'm going crazy. I've asked my boss for more things to do, but there's not much he can give me. I appreciate that I have a job during this time, but I also don't want to feel like I'm wasting my boss's time and money. Should I look out for better opportunities? Appreciate some advice on this.
Well, it sounds like he or she did the right thing in asking their boss for more things to do. If there's nothing, that's a bit tricky, huh? It's like you might as well look out, right?
Yeah, but I'm wondering also why there's not enough. There's no work. Like, is it because the business is struggling, or I imagine that's the case, right? So, is it short term or long term? Like, you have to kind of ask these questions, right? Is it because of the lockdown, or like, will things get better? How fast will it get better? Because you did say that before all this happened, it was okay. You kind of liked it, so that's something to consider. And the fact that if you have nothing to do and somehow the business, as in it doesn't sound like you're worried about losing your job. You're more wondering whether you should leave it. In some sense, you're in a good position that you have this choice, right?
I think it sounds like he likes his team, he likes the company, but it's just like maybe with the current economic situation, the current climate, like there's not much to do. So he's saying he's working like 15 out of those 40 hours.
Yeah, so I guess
honestly,
he feels unfulfilled.
if I was in his position and I already tried asking for my boss for more things to do, I already took the initiative to try and get more things done. You should make the most of the extra time that you have now to maybe do something on the side. At least then, when things pick up again with your current company that you like, in the team that you like, you can maybe dial back on those things that you're doing on the side. But right now, when you have all this extra time and we're all stuck at home anyway, do something from the side. Do like some sort of side hustle, side business.
Yeah, or learn something, right?
Yeah.
Learn, that's like you're basically still getting a salary and you legitimately don't have enough work. So use the time to learn something. So it's good.
Yeah. Okay. Some people are saying hi.
Yes.
Hi,
Farhan.
Farhan. Hello.
Hi,
Narissa.
Okay. All right. So we can go on to the next question. Should I accept a lower paying job or wait for another job offer? Okay, so this is a converse problem. I've been jobless and looking for a job for about 7 months. I just got a job offer, but the salary offered is 35% less than my previous pay. If I forego the offer, I do not know when I will be able to get a new job offer in view of the current economic situation. But if I accept the offer, I feel like I'm shortchanging myself and downgrading myself for lower pay. I do not feel good about it. What should I do?
Isn't any salary better than no salary?
Yeah, I think that the question is, I suppose you have to be realistic as to how easy is it for you to get another offer. If you think you can, I guess that's okay. As in you're confident you can, that's okay. But it depends on which industries you're in, what skill set you have, right? So for example, if the industries that you're in, let's say in technology, it's not really affected, they're still hiring, and your skill set is good, as in that you believe you're good at your job and you're easily employable, then perhaps, yeah, okay, you can wait. But if you're not ticking any of these boxes, right, then it might be a good idea to just take that job and just be practical right now.
I think another thing to consider is also if you are able to wait any longer, since you mentioned that you have been jobless for about 7 months, and the current situation, it's not good. Savings will definitely be used up at some point. So it depends on how far you can go without having a full-time job. If you can do things part-time while waiting for a permanent job, do that. But if not, then I would say, like Shakira said, having any salary, any job is better than no job.
Yeah.
And I just want to add one thing, and just moving away from the financial aspect, right? So even if money wasn't the number one question, I guess not doing anything is also not so good in terms of your CV, right? The longer you have that gap, and I know 2020 people are like a bit more forgiving, but still, if you have the opportunity to fill that gap with like meaningful work and experience, then I think that's more useful, right?
Yeah.
Than just saying that I'm going to wait a bit longer so I get the right salary. The time is important, right? The experience.
Yeah, and I think that if you're worried that you're accepting a lower paying job than maybe your previous job, that it would affect offers in the future, you could honestly just be very frank. I mean, the income discussion comes a bit late in the interview process anyway. So let's say you take this job, which is lower, and then you find another job, or you're going through an interview process and they ask you what's your current salary. You can be honest with them. This is the current salary, and it is actually lower than my previous job because of this situation, And usually an employer will be very understanding about that. And they're not going to but that's your current salary, so I'm only going to offer you this and a bit more. Usually they're not that calculative. Yeah. Yeah.
And I think one thing about it is you should also consider future opportunities in the company itself, not just your current starting salary, because taking into consideration the economy and stuff like that, maybe they aren't able to offer you a better salary right now. But when things get better, you can ask if there's opportunities for advancements, salary increase, or even like promotion, stuff like that. Think about the opportunities that this company can offer you in the future as well. Maybe not just the salary. If it's a good place and you can have a future in it, then why not just accept it and just, ride it out a bit. Yeah. Okay.
We get a lot of questions coming in, guys.
Oh, lots of questions.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's start with another question from Amzar. So Amzar is asking, what side hustles can excel in Malaysia?
Can I be biased about it?
Yeah, you can. I can't answer this question, so
all right, Derek's like full on WOBB because he's obviously the most busy as a CEO. Okay, well, this is just like my personal opinion. There are several ways you can look at it. A lot of people I know they do their own food side hustle. So if you're talented with like baking or cooking, people always want to eat. So if you're good at that, then monetize it, So a lot of people I know who are good cooks and good bakers, they just start their own Instagram shop. They start posting about it, and then they get orders from their family and friends, and sometimes repeat orders. And then if you're really good, they'll talk about it to their own network, and then you'll get more orders from there. So that's one, if you're talented in that way. Another one is obviously MLMs, right? So we all know of like Amway. Now the popular one is Norwex that a lot of people are getting on. These are, I can't really speak for Amway because I don't know how that works personally. Norwex is my side hustle. I do that after work every day. And it's easy because you're basically like running your own business on your own time with almost no investment. So, and there's no commitment. Like if you want to do it 1 hour a day, that's up to you. You want to do it full on all the time, that's also up to you. So it's very flexible, and it's a good way to like make some side income if things are a bit like tougher right now with the economy. That's just like my experience with side hustles. What about the rest of you? What do you guys know about it?
Actually, you already covered most of it. But also, like my cousin, who is a pilot, I think like the airline industry has been affected a lot, right? Right now. So his side hustle is like, selling stuff on like some e-commerce platforms, Shopee, Lazada, and all of that. There's actually you can promote it with your family, your friends first. Those people will obviously support you because they're family and friends. And then if your product is good, they talk about it. Word of mouth is a very good marketing strategy at this point in time, actually. Like if your food is good, people will share on your social media and stuff like that. I think those, I wouldn't say excel. If you say like really excel, then probably MLM is the way to go for some people. But then if you want like side hustle, food, like what Shakira said, like, a lot of people want to eat. They eat every day and they don't want to go out to buy now.
But I do think that it's worth mentioning that whatever side hustle you do, nothing is going to be like no effort, you get low money. None of it. All of it is about how much effort you put into it. And it does take a lot of time to run side hustles. But it's dependent on you lah. The good thing about doing a side hustle is you get to choose how much effort you want to put in, and that's how much you get out of it. So it's completely flexible lah.
So before we go on to the next question, I actually just want to add, there's more than just food that you can do. If you have a talent, for example, you're good at graphic design and stuff like that, you can also do freelance writing, graphic design, stuff like that. Or if you're good with arts and crafts, there's a lot of people selling batik, face masks, all these kind of things. So yeah, you can be creative with it. Your side hustle can be something that you use your own personal hobbies or skills, and then you earn money through that. Yeah, maybe you even discover a talent that you never thought you had.
Yeah. Oh, right. I have a friend. Oh, I'm just sorry. One more thing. Like, I have a friend. Like, if you discover like a market, right? It can be quite an amazing thing, but you won't discover it until you try it. I have a friend. If you guys know what epoxy is, it's kind of like, you can make like it's a liquid that hardens, so you can make essentially anything if you have a mold. And I have a friend who just started an Instagram doing epoxy from home. She films it. She hashtags the right things like epoxy, custom made stuff. And her Instagram has grown in a matter of like, I don't even think it's been that long. It's already got like hundreds of followers organically without spending ad money. And she has a good customer base from all around the world now because she discovered that niche of like making custom ashtrays, custom coasters, custom knick-knack holders just by doing that. So, I mean, that's a pretty cool thing. So you got to find your opportunity lah. You got to find what you would be good at. Yeah.
All right. So we have a lot of questions. Let's quickly move on. This question is from Naziro. So Naziro is asking, he has a good job, but his boss seems to like to take an advantage of him and what he's capable of. His salary isn't that good, and there are a lot of cut-offs. I guess a lot of people are being laid off in his company. So he's not sure what to do right now. He's looking for some advice.
I assume what he means by and more cut-off means pay cut. I think so lah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Oh, right. He's probably saying he's doing a good job, but he's getting a pay cut. What should I do? Right. Well, I'm not sure about the details. I think speaking from the perspective of a company, I think right now there are a lot of people who are doing good jobs, who are getting pay cuts, or even losing their jobs. As in, it's not their fault at all, right? Like they are doing a good job, and it's because, like, let's say the business has no business lah, right? There's no money and stuff. So it's a bit of a tricky one. If you're saying that your boss is deliberately doing it, as in the company is doing well, but using this as an advantage, like a opportunity to cut costs, and then I don't think that is someone that you would want to work for, But if you can see that the business is actually struggling and there's less money, I don't know. My point of view is kind of like, well, if that really does bother you, then you might want to look for a different job, because you cannot change the fact that there's less money to pay you at the same time, right? Like the where does the money come from? One of the things that like in WOBB, right, one of our missions pillars is financial independence, which always leads me to say no money, no mission, being that I suppose the fundamental essence of a business is money lah. Like you need money for things to move. If you don't have money, like it's not even a choice. It's not even an option. So that's the first thing I would say lah. If you think it's deliberate, like you're being taken advantage of, the business is doing fine, then maybe you wouldn't want to work for someone like this. But ask that honest question lah. Is it because there's no choice right now? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. It's from Ravi. Ravi is asking, is it necessary to have work experiences for fresh graduates?
This is funny, right? Because you see all those jokes of like fresh grad job, but you need 20 years experience.
The simple answer is you're not expected to have a lot of working experience, but if you have and if you can, it will definitely give you advantage compared to other people. Yeah.
So perhaps like when you were in uni, you did a part-time job in retail, or even like experience in terms of like running extracurricular activities where you had like leadership or important roles in these groups and clubs. Those things add to your CV as well, so don't forget to put that in. But yeah, for fresh grads, I guess like you don't really expect experience outside of university and outside of part-time jobs. Maybe internships lah. Yeah. But it's a bit ridiculous if an employer says fresh grads welcome, but you need experience.
Yeah, probably internships. I think at WOBB we really encourage people to do internships because most of us here started from interns. We were interns before we turned full-timers. So if you were to intern at a place and you do a really good job, you perform very well, you can even like, especially at times like this, where people are not really, maybe the company that you want to work in does not hire full-time. Don't look at internship as like a waste of time, because like the 3 months or 6 months that you spend there could turn into a full-time job that most people may not have a chance of getting even now. For like, like just now we covered a question that says that the guy, he has been jobless for 7 months. So even if now you are not a fresh grad and you lost your job, I don't think there's any harm for you to try internships even. Like internships are very, very understated, I feel. Yeah.
So I think that's all our answers for this question.
Yeah.
All right. So we have a question from Nerissa. So Nerissa is asking, in your opinion, a company with stability and excellent benefits, or a company that's fun and meaningful but less benefits? She's in a dilemma because she's not really into her current job, which is stable and the pay is really good. And the company that she's working part-time for is fun and impactful but less benefits. So she's asking which one should she go for? Yeah.
Everyone has different priorities, right? So it depends on your priorities. Do you have a lot of commitments that you need to pay for? Are you supporting a family? Then maybe you need to make the more responsible decision and go for the more stable job. But if not, if your commitments are very low, you don't really have that much like to be responsible for, but instead you just want like a good experience for your daily work life, then maybe you can go for the other job, which is more fun but less benefits. It's totally dependent on your own priorities lah.
Yeah, I suppose that's unfortunately the answer lah, right? It's kind of depends on you. Depends on what kind of lifestyle you have, what kind of situation you have. And the other thing is like I want to speak to like stability a little bit. So not just the immediate salary. Yeah, some companies, I suppose it's like a higher risk, that it doesn't turn out well. If you work for like a big corporate company that has been there for say 50 years, and of course not to say there's no risk that they will disappear one day, but the risk is very low lah, right? The fact that they've been around for 50 years and still doing well. But as you imagine, if the company is stable, that means everything is stable within the company also, like even your job. Like when I say stable, I mean that it can be pretty flat, which is, I suppose, what you're experiencing to some degree. Like it's not that interesting because things are kind of like business as usual. Every month is the same thing. Your daily job's the same. It gets a bit tiring in a different way after a while. But again, if you work for like a startup, the risk is higher. So you have to kind of imagine that as well. Like you have to accept that risk is higher. And the reason the risk is high is because it's more interesting, right? You see, like it's like you use the word fun is impactful, but things are changing all the time, But that change is where the risk comes in. The fact that it's changing all the time means that it is like it is riskier. So that part you have to accept, right? When you make this decision.
Yeah, I think generally the consensus is you should try to have a job that you enjoy and that you're passionate about, using it very carefully. Passionate as in you're motivated to go to your work, you're very interested in it, because it definitely makes things easier. But you have to be realistic. If the job doesn't pay well, you can't pay your bills, then you probably should choose the one with better stability or benefits. Yeah.
So without more information, I guess that's all we can give to you, and you need to make the decision yourself.
So yeah, Nerissa actually also has a follow-up question. What do you think about someone with mental health issues working in a fast-paced environment, specifically in corporate communications or PR? First, I think you might want to clarify what specific situation you have. Is it anxiety, or is it depression, or is it something that's a bit more?
I guess the more common ones would be anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
And a fast-paced environment, I assume, is not just fast but incredibly high pressure. This is a tricky question.
I assume if you're in corporate comm or PR, which means you meet people a lot, you need to interact with people, and sometimes when anxiety hits and things like that, it may get tough and may affect your work. I guess to a certain extent, everyone faces mental health issues. It depends on how well you can control it.
Manage it.
Yeah, and manage it. Yeah. So managing it could be you taking some me time, or you reaching out to get some help about your situation, and keep it under control, so that it doesn't go berserk if suddenly you're in a meeting or something like that. I'm not really sure when it comes to fast.
I think it doesn't matter whether it's fast-paced or slow-paced environment, to be honest. Like if your mental health issue, whatever it may be, is stopping you from being able to function on a daily basis, or very common, every week, multiple times, you have to take sick leave, or you suddenly need a break, MIA, you can't handle your job, then I think you need to seek outside help already to learn how to manage it. It is manageable based on what I know about mental health and people I know who struggle with it. If it gets to the point where it's stopping you from living your daily life, stopping you from being able to function on a day-to-day basis, then you need to get expert help so that you learn ways to manage it. And there are people who have mental health who learn to manage it and are highly successful. So it is possible. You just need to learn how to manage it first if it's stopping you on a daily basis. If it's a once in a while thing, like quite rare, I think that's quite normal. And maybe during those times you can take a break for yourself to rest, recover, and then go back to it. But if it's really disrupting your daily life, then you need to handle it with a professional.
Yeah. So in short, talk to a professional. Yeah. So it's difficult for us to give advice on this.
We're
not professionals in mental
health. That's
right.
All right. Okay, we can go on to the next question. Oh, sorry. Wait, sorry, hold on.
There's a lot of questions.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions.
Okay,
So this is a question from Huda. Huda is asking, I've been jobless for 1 month now, and it seems very difficult to get a job/offer. Been applying for tons of jobs, but still nothing due to the current situation. So I guess she wants some tips on how to capture attention during this period of time.
Yeah, so it's a very broad question, again, this one. So like things like, have a good CV. I mean, my first question was, are you not being accepted for, invited for interviews? Or are you invited for interviews but not being offered the job? Then that will give us an indication of how to help you. If you're saying you're not even being invited for interviews, then I suppose the question is your CV lah. Right? But if you are invited for interviews but not landing offers, then it's an interview technique. So I suppose that will help us kind of narrow it down a bit more. Yeah, so it is broad, but yeah, work on the basics lah. I would say, at the moment, like obviously we also don't know what kind of job you're looking for, how much experience you have, what's your actual situation, right? As to why you haven't been had a job for a month.
And I think I think you can cast your net wide. If it's at the job application stage, maybe you're not getting shortlisted for interviews, cast your net really wide. Like apply for, if you're looking for marketing jobs, apply for a lot. Don't just be nitpicky about which jobs you apply for right now. I would say apply for a lot of the marketing jobs, and even look at, like Eleanor has mentioned for previous questions, look at internships. If you think it's very difficult to get a full-time job now, a way to get your foot in the door is with an internship. Because maybe to the employer, they're not thinking of hiring full-time, but you join and then you blow them away with how awesome you are at your job, then maybe they would consider converting you to a full-time. So that's my immediate advice based on the very little information I have with this question.
Just building on what Derek mentioned, I think make the best out of the basics. Your CVs, your interviews. Your CV basically is what your golden ticket, right, to the interview. So CV definitely put your achievements. I've mentioned this many times. Put your achievements in your CV instead of your daily tasks that you do in your previous company. And also on WOBB, we have video cover letter, which helps you stand out from a lot of other job applicants as well for that job. And basically make the best out of the basics. And if you stand out from other job seekers, that will probably help you in this unprecedented situation even better. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's pretty broad. There's a lot of things you can do. So hopefully the things that we said will help you, Huda. So we actually have a question from YouTube, which is quite rare. So it's from Aaron. So Aaron is asking, hi, I accepted a contract position as a maternity cover for 6 months, which expires this Friday. I was promised a permanent position after this 6-month duration. But they said they need more time to get necessary approvals, hence they offered a 3-month extension till January 2021. My bosses are very happy with my performance, and I am happy with the culture of this organization. But it's the uncertainty that matters. What do we think?
Sorry, contract position as a maternity cover. Maternity cover.
Yeah, so I think like someone went on maternity, I think. So,
yeah.
So she's there to like kind of cover. But then now, like, well, originally you thought you would get a permanent position straight away, right? Well, actually, my straightforward answer is, well, you should obviously take it, the 3 months. Number one, if they're not able to give you offer you that full-time job right now, that's not within your control, and you can ask for it again. And when they are saying that they can't get the necessary approvals in time, I suppose your only option is either whether you believe them or you don't believe them, right? So that's the first thing. So I'm obviously leaning to, I don't see a reason why they would not be telling you the truth, considering you also mentioned that you like the culture there, you like the people there. And it's also seems fairly reasonable that it may take time to get these approvals, considering what's going on right now, to open up like a full-time role. Because what you have to realize is a lot of companies are a bit more reluctant to hire someone full-time if they're not sure if you need an extra person for the long term or not. Because what it does, because it was originally a maternity cover, right? Like you mentioned. So yeah, I mean, I would take it. I would because I think your question is just asking us our opinion about the situation, not whether we take it or not. So yeah, like I'm not sure what other thing you can really do. Yeah, like I wouldn't leave lah. Yeah, I wouldn't say no lah.
But he also mentioned that his bosses are happy with his performance and he's happy with the organization, and that the bosses are saying that they need more time to get necessary approvals. So it sounds like they are trying to keep you on. So yeah, I would stay. If you believe that they're trying to get you to have a full-time position and you're happy there, then I mean, just accept the 3 months extension for now lah. Yeah.
But if the uncertainty really bothers you, I would say keep a lookout. I mean, you don't have to jump to another job, but you can always keep a lookout lah.
That's true. It's always better to, if you're going to be job hunting, my advice is usually to do it while you still have a job, because you don't know how long the job hunt is going to take. So now that you know that you have a contract for another 3 months, you could take this time to, you don't have to be so gung-ho with your job hunt, but you could keep your eye out. If you see an opportunity that interests you, there's no harm in applying. Even if you apply for the job and you get all the way to interview and offer, and then for some reason this company that you're in now decides, okay, now we're ready to convert you full-time, then you have like 2 choices of a full-time job, you know? Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So unfortunately, I think we've just
we're
run
out of time, but we have so many questions today.
Yeah. Wow.
How about one more?
Okay, one more.
One more? All right.
Okay.
So we have a question from Elise. So Elise is asking, why is digital marketing such a popular career now? Like, what's good about it?
As the
You are
head
looking
of
at
marketing, as the head of marketing in WOBB, I can tell you it's because every company needs it now.
You are looking at it. That's the straightforward answer. You are on the net right now. You are watching this. That's the reason why digital marketing is so important, because everyone is on their screen, especially now that most of us are back working from home. Everyone's spending time at home. They're on their screen. That's the time where digital marketers shine.
I think also like digital marketing is really good return on investment for companies, because, well, first of all, like unlike traditional marketing, like I don't know, radio, TV, like out of home ads, you can't really track the success. Whereas with digital marketing, you can see everything. Like I can track how many people saw my ad, how many people converted. If I change this, how many people converted after that? It's so you can track to the very, very detailed. So you can see how much you're getting for how much you spend. And oftentimes it's cheaper than the traditional option. So that's why most companies are going for digital now lah.
Yeah. And I think maybe you can think
go
of
ahead,
digital. Okay. So you can sort of think digital marketing as like a position like accountants. Like every company needs them now, because the truth of the fact is businesses are transitioning to like a digital space. So you need somebody to market your stuff there and stuff like that. That's why it's so popular right now, and because there's a lot of demand. So it's a good opportunity, but you have to be careful. Say like just because it's a very popular career doesn't mean that you should be transitioning to it too. There's a lot of skills and like numbers and analytics involved in digital marketing. So if you're planning to go into it because you think it's a good career path with lots of opportunities, make sure that you sort of take the time to learn and understand what it's really about first.
But make sure you understand what the job is like, not just learn how to do it, but understand what the job is like. A lot of people think marketing is a very glamorous job, but there's so many different types of marketing, so many different areas of marketing. So digital is one of those very, you'll be staring at a screen every day, all day lah. You're looking at numbers, you're looking at graphs. It's very analytical, very numbers and data driven. So if you're into that sort of thing, then and you want to get a job in digital marketing, then look into it. But if you're not into numbers and graphs and data, then it might not be the job for you, even though it's a popular job right now.
Yeah. Oh, I just want to add my point. Not so obviously, yes, the employers are hiring more. The demand for digital marketing is more because that's the way the world is going. But also just to the point of not specifically to the digital marketing, but anytime any new field opens up, it kind of what's the word I'm looking for? You actually have like a wide open space to build a career. And what I mean is that if you look at, say, conventional marketing, I'm not sure what's the right term to use. It's been around for a while. All the established people are already there, if that makes sense, right? There are a lot of people who are very good marketing. They've done it for 20, 30 years. They've built a name. And now digital marketing is completely new. So it's wide open. So you can imagine there is a race in some sense, to be the top in digital marketing, because there is no established name. There is no established name. There are very few established names. It's not very crowded yet. And the people that jump in first and move very fast, and like you start to, and you build that experience very fast, you have a significant advantage rather than trying to do something that being the top of the industry that's been established for many, many years already, where they're already very experienced players in the market. I hope that makes sense. So it doesn't just apply to digital marketing, it applies to many other space as well, where suddenly there's this huge demand coming in, there's not enough talent, and if you are somehow naturally very good at it, like you will excel very fast because there's no hierarchy yet in terms of talent. So yeah, I think that's imagine why people are kind of rushing in a little bit.
Yeah, I hope that answers your question, Elise. So we're at the end of our Papa Q&A for today. So for anyone who's watching and you're looking for a job, Juiceria Superfoods is actually hiring right now for these 4 positions. So if you're interested, you can head over to wobbjobs.com/superfoods and apply to your jobs or any other jobs that you want. But also for those that people who have questions that we haven't answered, Eleanor, would you like to share with them how they can find some
Before
answers?
you go and be mad because we did not answer your question, you can head on to Offwork. Offwork is a group that we created, that WOBB created. Why am I specifically to give career advice? And you can, if you have any questions that you haven't asked, or if you have already asked that we didn't answer, just copy and paste the question at Offwork. And our mentors and we will be there for the next 30 minutes to answer your questions. There will be also peers there who may chime in and give you advice based on their experience, or you can even do that if you have any advice to give other people there as well.
We'll be there for the next half an hour, but not just the next half an hour. Like if you come up with a question tomorrow or the next day, we monitor this group every single day. So whenever a question pops up, just, post it there and someone will, and a bunch of people actually, not just one person, a bunch of people will be able to give you their opinions and advice.
So if you want to look for Offwork, just go to Facebook and search Offwork, OFFWERK, Offwork by WOBB, a group page, or you can search us by the link wobbjobs.com/offwork. So we'll see you guys there.
Yeah.
See you, and thank you for joining us today. We'll be back next week. Bye.
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 Bye.